parati na lang siyang, ang dami niyang mga achievement, no? She is a coach, a one-on-one coach, also a group facilitator, and a corporate image consultant and creator. He always been invited to speak in almost all the fora here and abroad, and also an online trainer, and more importantly that she is also a licensed real estate broker. No, Carolina or Carol, would you believe it, guys, no? Is a former runway print and commercial model. Tama ka, June Dulalia, dapat talaga manood ka. Commercial model for projects such as the American Standards, Wella International, Sunsilk, my goodness, Taiwan, Coca-Cola, Vietnam, wow, Emporio Armani, Louis Vuitton, and MasterCard. She also co-hosted Philippine celebrity talk show called Oh No, It's Johnny by Johnny Liton siguro yan, no? From 1997 to 1999. And by the way, she's also a very cerebral person, no? She is a graduated cum laude from UST Communication Arts Program at the University of Santo Tomas Faculty of Arts and Letters. Opportunity presented herself, rather itself, as she ventured out into the real estate project selling, and became a licensed real estate broker in 2006. Also, formerly connected with the Antel group of companies for several years, 10 years ata, ano. Ayoko kasi mag-mention ng years, baka matamaan ko yung edad but she looks very, very young. She is now with MegaWorld Corporation under the MegaWorld Brokers Network from 2017 up to today. Then Carol, extensive travel overseas, wow, in Asia, North and South America, has helped her shape her diplomatic experience as well as her sales work exposure with BMW Philippines from 2005 to 2007, handling expatriate market. Well, actually, would you believe it? She's also an alumna of John Robert Powers. Alam natin yun, no? International Manila, and has been an active consultant at the school for 16 years. Her areas of expertise, guys, evolved on business licensing to qualified clients. And likewise, this is very important. She is a certified image professional, CIP, from the world's leading and largest professional association of personal and corporate image consultancy, AICI, Association of Image Consultants International. Wow, no? And napakadami po niyang ginawa at yung enhance since 2011. I think has been doing enhancing your image training and also with so many organizations, no? And well, nakita ko ang dami niyang achievement at kung mabasa ko to, mauubos lahat ng oras natin. But let me just recapitulate and tell you that we have here with us as our resource person a consummate, well-rounded image consultant and personality development guru or coach, no? So without further ado, allow me to introduce to you my good friend Carolina Tan. Hello, Carol.
Hi, thank you, Doc EG. And of course,
Oh,
maraming salamat. Good morning, everyone. And to all the amazing nanays out there, I would like to say Happy Mother's Day sa inyong lahat.
oh,
Thank you so much for joining us on a Sunday afternoon. And thank you so much for the invite, Sir EG, Abby, and the rest of the team. Congratulations on your 50th episode. Yay,
alam
virtual.
mo ba na nung malaman nung ipin-remote ko na ikaw ang speaker, sabi niya, manonood ako kasi maganda yung speaker.
Naku, maraming salamat. Siyempre,
Sabi ko,
linggo-linggo, panoorin po natin ang show. Ikonsulta mo kay
oo,
Doc EG, regardless kung
yeah.
sino po yung magiging guest speaker because we all have a lot to learn.
Yeah, we are honored to have you, Carol. And
Maraming salamat, sir. You're welcome.
I'm sure that you're going to give us an insights or some information about how to enhance and improve our selves, our image, so that we can be best ready to go into the battlefield of real estate. Di ba? Okay, so you
Thank
have
you so
PowerPoint
much.
presentation, hindi ba,
Yes, yes, we
Carol?
do. And
Uh,
of course, in advance, I would like to encourage everyone to please key in and type in your questions. Okay, so Sir EG later on, we'll be happy to read that to us and we'll do our
yeah,
very best to actually make this as interactive as possible.
yeah, we'll have Q&A, Carol. Okay, ha? Oo. Sige, you can start your presentation. I'm sure maganda yan.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. Okay, so at this point, allow me please to share my screen. Okay, so everyone, there you go. Can you all see my screen, everyone? Sir EG, can we see it clearly?
Oh, no, no. Parang wala pa ata eh. Kasi mayroon tayong internet problem. Nakita na ba? Kita dyan. Wala lumilitaw pa sandali, Carola.
Okay,
I
no
think,
problem.
wala pa. Wala pang lumilitaw.
No problem. Just here
Sana.
and hanging
Sana.
on.
Ha? Wala pa. Shout out pa lang ito, no? Tingnan muna na. Oy, naku, Josephine from Mega World. Ayun, nanonood sa atin. Si Dan Pactoran from Bataan. Wow. And Senior Abida, Ayala to, Senior Tess, Roselen Kabalhin, and Asok Betel. Oh, of course, ang aking good friend, the Apple of PRC, Lot Helbano. Hello, Tracy Rabaya. Well, from Cebu. My goodness, ang daming nanonood sa atin all over the world, ha? Okay, so wala pa ba? Kaya yun, sino ba mag-share?
I will be sharing my screen from my end. So let me redo that. So just
Okay,
give me a few seconds here. Thank you.
okay. Meron pa tayo. Leo, let me also greet the Parks people, the Philippine Association of Realty Consultants. We had a
Thank
meeting
you.
last night. Okay, ayun na.
Feel free to cue me if you can already see the slide on screen. Thank you. I can already see it on my first monitor here.
Parang wala pa, no? Wala pa po. Wala pa, Carol. Wala pa. Ha? Wala pa.
Dear Abby, it already came up on my first monitor here, and it says here StreamYard.com is sharing a window. So I already
Ayan na.
shared. I started
Ayan
sharing
na.
the PowerPoint.
Oh, okay, Carol,
Okay.
ayan na. Ayan na, Carol.
Yes. Okay. So
Go ahead.
everyone,
Go.
thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. Yes, I am now checking the second monitor just to see that we're all well and good. Okay. So everyone, maraming salamat once again for joining us. Happy Sunday. So right now, look at the screen and we have the first compelling question. Let me read. How would you like to be a successful contributing real estate professional in your field? So if you are watching us live, feel free to just raise your hands. Okay. And second compelling question for the day. All right. So second compelling question for the day. Okay. Nakikita ba ng lahat? There you go. There's a little bit of lag, okay? But everything is fast here. Second compelling question. How would you like to learn the ABCs of image for personality, presence, and power in this new reality to make a difference? So just in case you're wondering, what are the ABCs? It's not literally the alphabet, but it pertains to appearance, behavior, and communication. So if you answered yes also to this second compelling question, okay, feel free to raise your hand like right there where you are. So that means we are ready to proceed. So today's title, as mentioned earlier by Doc EG, of course, as what you've seen in our poster, says enhanced image, the key to success in real estate marketing. Okay, so right now, everyone, look at this. I'm actually holding something. Hindi yata kita. Okay, kita ba sa camera? Okay,
Kita,
I'm
kita.
actually holding something. Yes. So, what am I holding, everyone? In Filipino, we call this susi, right? So, this is actually a piece of key. So, a piece of key, would you believe, unlocks a particular door. It does not unlock all doors, but only one specific door, right? And who knows, like, what's inside. This is actually a key. And just to give an example, this is a safety deposit box key from one of our banks. And of course, what's inside, passports, other important documents. And needless to say, in relation to image and the work that we do as professionals, the moment we are able to hold the right key and unlock it, we end up becoming influencers. Hence, looking at this slide, everyone, you can see here influential image, personality, presence, and power, the three P's. And it says here, yes, we can. Kaya po natin to. Okay, so moving forth, as what was mentioned earlier, I am happy and honored to actually be an AICICIP from the Association of Image Consultants International, and happy of service, proud to be Filipino in that regard. So these were the years from 1995 to 2011. So if earlier on it was mentioned, now what you see are all visuals. And you know what, guys and girls, and to all of you who are watching us today, if there is one word to sum up today's webcast presentation in one word, let me keep it simple. In one word, I would say it's storytelling. who among us who amongst us wouldn't want to actually hear stories, right? From childhood to present, like we all do. So all of this is all about storytelling, but more on visuals as we share, very personal like photos, again through experience. So these were the days when I was still with the institution. So 16 years, and in 2011, this is what transpired. We are actually fortunate to have established Enhance Your Image Training Consultancy, or what we call EYI for short. Okay, so, and if you notice the next few slides, well, technically, we don't want to delve on any particular slide much longer. But looking at our slides, this traces back to the very start when I was doing modeling, when I was still at the university. Bottom line here is we all start from somewhere, everyone. So regardless whether it's co-hosting stint, which is good because that means I'm able to practice what I took up from the university, which is communication arts related, to being a print model representing like certain brands. Believe me, I'm clicking fast here. There's a little bit of backlog, or there's a little bit of lag on the second monitor, but we can see that on the next slide, we I was also fortunate to have graced like covers of several magazines. And likewise, would you believe, like doing modeling through the years, it has taught me many things. But if I were to actually share one particular important word, that word is actually persistence. If you notice on this slide, this is actually what we call lifestyle modeling, because representing a particular brand does not mean that you just like you are just glammed up, you are just there and smile for the photos as you are being clicked. It's not that, because you have to actually embody, you have to feel it, you actually have to be in the moment for that particular role. So in this case, for a real estate company, that is, and for another like a local brand, which we all use in our households. So Progressing further, again through the years, why persistence? As what you will see in the next slide, persistence is very important because it's not all the time that even as a model, we go through what we call go-sees, wherein we literally have to go and literally be seen by client, by the casting director and staff to be able to know if we actually have what it takes to land in that particular role. And many times I also got rejected. Who who actually have not experienced rejection? I don't think there's any person in this world who has not experienced rejection. But one thing good about this persistence actually like builds to literal like work thereafter. And segue, many years thereafter, I am actually blessed and privileged, very thankful to have segued to the property or what we call the real estate industry. At what you can see here in the photos, 3, 6, 7, 8. So we actually have 7 photos on this particular slide. So literally, what does this mean? Like selling properties is not so easy as 1, 2, 3, as what you all know by now, because many times it also involves a lot of field work, as what you can see in the photos. Obviously, this is not in this is not all in our showrooms, but definitely many times we also have to step out of our comfort zones and really be with our clients. And sharing the next photo again, going back to my original like storytelling word that I shared and something that I hold close to my heart. Why do I actually love like storytelling? Because all of these are actually real life stories from existing clients, whether past to present. And if you're looking at this particular slide, the one on the leftmost, if you notice, like that particular client has has luggages with him. That is because the person, would you believe, met me at the showroom at 11:45 in the evening because he's actually in transit to the international airport and back to overseas. So when a client says, you know, this is the only time I have, so what does a real estate broker do? By all means, like since we actually have well-staffed showrooms, so we are very fortunate to actually have been given the chance and literally be able to meet the client there. And right smack in the center, you actually see a giant Christmas tree. Obviously, believe it or not, this was actually New Year's Day. I believe this was 2 years ago. And what happened here was, again, my overseas like clients, um, they're literally here only for a short period of time, and needless to say, this is their only available time. So once again, like meeting up with clients means that, hey, I am here for you, and it's not always like, you know, selling you, or in other words, like brushing your arm to actually get new projects, but even just to say hi, just to actually tour you around, just to say, you know what, you've made the right choice because the project that you got that was formerly pre-selling is now being constructed, it's now rising, and it's now almost like nearly built, if not ready for occupancy. And likewise for the other 2 photos, when clients come to see us, it's always a blessed time, and we are very thankful for that. And what happens in the next slide, of course, after many, many months and years of work, what happens is when we do work, we end up closing sales. And when we do close accounts, again, like the rewards is not just simply monetary, it's also like in the form of awards, right? Or recognition. Again, I would say this is just like a bonus, which a lot of our real estate colleagues and professionals are also experiencing in the various companies being represented. Okay, so with that being said, again, let me segue. These photos were taken just right before our ECQ, initial ECQ last year. So if you notice here, like the one on the upper left, this is actually our client who's also based in the US. And when she came here, she actually like is a repeat buyer. She ended up being a repeat buyer. So repeat buyers, which means that originally she already has a property with us, but yet this time around, since the property investment she got basically earned her so much income. So she's more than convinced that this is the right path to take, and that really one does not go wrong to actually invest in properties. And likewise, when we do meet groups, okay, and bring like VIPs to our showroom, we are very grateful that we have like directors and the entire sales team to actually help us. And this, again, in terms of storytelling, it is actually something related to what we call collaboration and teamwork, because no man is an island, right? And the mere fact that we are actually helping one another in dealing with clients, that means we've got the full support of the entire department, the entire team, and the developer behind us. And likewise, when we do meet various like clients, whether sales associates, okay, so whether sales associates or whether families from overseas, again, who are just here on a short like break. So literally, we are happy to tour them around. That's what you can see here. The one on the left is one of our upscale showrooms, and the one on the right is literally taken in one of our ready for occupancy towers in our ground floor lobbies. So when we do meet clients, a lot of things happen. We are able to catch up. We are able to literally inspire them further. We are able to validate that, sir, ma'am, you've definitely made the right decision, because, you know, see for yourself, this is now what's happening in our township and in the industry. And they end up all being happy clients, and end up being happy clients who actively refer clients to us. Most of my clients, like from years 2005 to 2006 to present, had always been like 70 75 80% overseas based. But it does not mean that they're not Filipinos. Like, majority of them are Filipinos who happen to be based overseas. So once again, when they do visit us, it's usually like the whole family, and it's usually a blessed positive experience. It's something that they anticipate with cheerful gladness. So whenever we do meet up with clients, again, what can we learn from looking at all of these photos? As real estate professionals, we have to honor our commitments. We have to honor commitments with our clients, which means that when we agree on a certain day, on a certain time, we show up. We don't let our clients wait as much as possible. If we can be there earlier, then all the better. And likewise, many times when we are closing, say, big accounts, and we need to pull in like the team, okay, on the developer side, we are very happy to say that almost always, like, we have our developer support, which actually brings us to the next point. It actually makes the job so much or a little less difficult, because as you all know, it's no it's no joke to actually be selling anything, more so if something costs millions, right? So again, one thing that's exhibited here is what we call teamwork. And when we work in harmony together, our clients appreciate that, because they know that we are one. And likewise, it's not all clients in the photos, as what you will be seeing in the next slide. What you will be seeing in the next slide, okay, this time around, just like books, just like podcasts, just like videos, and so much more, there are many times that as real estate professionals that we also need to sharpen the saw. So many times we also need to update ourselves. We also need to be knowledgeable regarding like new information coming in. And if not, like this is also what we call a refresher course or period for us. And in these two photos, I'm also very fortunate and blessed to actually be with our sales associates. Remember, sales associates are actually like our arms and legs, and they are the very ones who actually help us with clients. They may not be able to explain the entire project like as a whole, but the mere fact that they actually bring in what we call the pull factor, whether through the referrals, through their like contacts. So that means at least we are looking forward to what can be done next, which brings us closer to a potential close. Again, the team that trains together, believe it or not, they stay together. It's not just simply prayers, okay? So the team that works together stays together and sells together. So when you sell together, you also sail together. Because, right? Like the waves and the tide. So if it's a smooth sailing one, then that means everybody's in harmony, and everything is actually going positively well. And then came the year 2020. Okay, so what happened during the year 2020, as we all know? Okay, so in the next slide, that's what you can see here. When we all experienced the initial ECQ, March of 2020 last year. So it definitely changed the face of real estate forever, right? And who knows how long it will take, how much longer we need to be in waiting before we get to go back to our old normal. Or if it's not the old normal, this is what we call now our new normal. So from the mandatory wearing of face masks, plus additional face shields, apart from hand sanitation, believe it or not, even pens given to clients are all wrapped in plastic and new. So so everything looks like disposable, right? To the hand sanitation areas, to literally being limited in the showroom, as what you can see. So at this time, like as an example, we are literally working and entertaining our clients, and they are actually in the process of we were here in the process of closing like multiple accounts for this group of clients. And as what you'd notice, for this particular hour, we are the only ones in the showroom. And with that segue, okay, to the next photo, again, it's not all showroom visits, right? And meetups and appointments. What about instances wherein, oh, clients really want to be able to see the actual units that are already RFO, what we call ready for occupancy. So again, this is a simple shot taken at the lobby of um, one of our building towers. And again, what what can we all like notice here? If there is one word in terms of storytelling and skill that I would want to share, this is actually the spirit of cooperation. Why do I say spirit of cooperation? We are five different people. The mere fact that even if it's quarantine time, that we all agreed to meet right there and then, obviously, since we are all in this particular photo, it means that we definitely agreed to really comply with what's at stake at the moment. And moving further, and many times, like even clients from other industries get to segue and get to appreciate properties, right? And as real estate practitioners, like who knows, they will also end up being clients, future referrers, and so much more, right? There's a collaboration segment being done here likewise. So again, what is an element in terms of storytelling that is being exhibited in this particular photo? It is actually the element of trust. And why do I share that it's the element of trust? The mere fact that a particular person, like if a person is CEO, president of the company, the mere fact that the individual took time and literally met with us, that means like not only is friendship valued, not only is professionalism realized, but the person trusts us enough to literally show up and be there. Aren't you all glad that we can all exhibit through storytelling, the realities of life and what transpires in our day to day? And it's not just ECQ, or right now we are on extended MECQ in the NCR Plus bubble. So what happens now when it comes to training? Everything is what we call virtual or online, right? So likewise, as we sharpen the saw, we train together. And when we train together, we all succeed together as well. And we really appreciate, like, this is what we call overflowing inputs. And inputs and positive information that we need to keep hearing again and again, because there's no such thing as overload when it comes to refreshing for a particular course, especially for selling various townships that are actually in high-end locations. So it's not just simply storytelling of what was already mentioned, although you have an idea by now. Image, ABCs, we mentioned that at the onset: appearance, behavior, and communication. This is a page that is actually a showcase of the C component of image, and that is what we call communication. Because believe it or not, the way we are seen online and the way people can literally find us on social media also makes a big difference. So my question to all of us is, can you be easily found on social media? If so, what are the different mediums you have been using at the moment? So again, as real estate professionals in our field, we do not want to actually tire our clients to keep looking into the online space, and what happens is, if they cannot locate us, rather, that means we are not effective in that case, because we should be easily found. And can you imagine if you do have a social media account, but yet with no profile photo? What if there are 10 or 12 other individuals with the same name as you are? And it's not, and it's a very common thing that this really happens. So we do not want our client end up clicking another person with the same name that is not us. So again, we want to make ourselves very much available and reachable. So be easily found online, everyone. So if there's one thing that we can all learn from this page, is our online presence is as important as our offline presence. And online presence is also part of digital communication. So moving forth, okay, so hold on. How are we doing, everyone? Okay, so let me know if you can already see the next slide. There you go. Hold on. Let me reshare. Do we have any questions so far? Thank you. Thank you for those of you who are actually like typing in like inputs. Okay, thank you so much for that. Let me reshare my screen because for some reason it literally hang. So give me a second here. Thank you. Again, later on, we'll be more than happy to actually answer specific questions that you may have. Okay, so everyone, please let me know if you can see this on your screen, because I can see it on my first monitor here. So let me know if you can already see it on the screen. Okay, so there you go. Okay, wonderful. And here, let me quote, progress is possible. We are here not just to sell, but rather, in yellow, to educate our clients about sound investments for their future. Because a lot of times, you know, as real estate professionals, we are very blessed to literally be face to face, or if not face to face, at least online, on audio or video call with our clients. Who knows, he or she may be thousands of miles away, and having that like a spare fund at hand, you know, this particular person needs our guidance and care, and utmost care, definitely, to be able to know what type of investments they can actually segue their their funds at the moment, right? So we need to make sure that it's literally going to be sound investments for many, many years to come, and something that they can also pass on to their children and so on, if not for rental income. Because many times clients, like, they may actually have spare funds, but they may not know exactly, they may not have a clear direction as to what they want to do, whether it's going to be for their own use or whether it's something that's going to be for rental income. So regardless, we are here to guide them. So everyone looking at this particular slide, can we think of a particular word that we can all relate with looking at this particular like quote? Okay, so one thing that I can think of here is actually the word coach or teacher, right? Because if we know certain things that our clients do not, then we are duty bound to actually tell them what we know and how to make it easy for them. Okay, so now we actually are looking at another slide, and this is actually like a pie. Okay, so this actually like a pie. If you notice, there's a blue, there's an orange, and there's a red portion. Again, what is this? This has to do with the 3V rule. Again, this is courtesy. This is based on the research by Dr. Albert Mehrabian. And this is actually what we call the 3V rule. If you look at the biggest chunk, everyone, 55%, again, that's 55%. It's actually visual appearance, right? So appearance, because our visual message matters. So the way you actually are groomed, whether you're wearing no makeup, a lot of makeup, okay? So, or as if you look as if you've literally just stepped out of bed. So all of these matter, and we want to be credible professionals. So we better make sure that the visual part, that we are able to ace that, because that's a big chunk, being there at 55%. Now, the, the, the second chunk is actually a bit smaller. It's a smaller share of the pie. But then again, it says here it's 38%. And 38% has to do with the vocal. So the vocal component has to do with how we actually say it. Are we speaking? Are we speaking in a monotone? Or, hi everyone, like I am here. It's Carolina Tan, and I'm happy to be here. So when we actually speak, and there's intonation, there's rise and fall to the tone of our voices, it makes us a lot more interesting. Imagine, everyone, if the only channel and means of communication we have is through video conferencing. If we are going to speak on a monotone, clients would think, our buyers would think we are actually reading a script, right? With memorized lines. So therefore, we also have to be very careful with how we sound. So we've discussed visual, vocal. What is now the smallest chunk in our pie, everyone? If you notice, the smallest chunk in our pie, 7%, right? So the one in red, 7% actually has to do with verbal. So verbal has to do with actual words. What are we saying? What comes out of our mouth? So the mere fact that we're saying greetings, good morning, ma'am, how are you doing today? I'm sending you my prayers. I hope you continue to stay safe and sound, and God bless you and your family. Simple things such as this, right, means that we actually care, because what we are all experiencing, if there is one thing that we are all experiencing, is that we are all on an equal footing here, regardless of how far in this world you are from, whether you are from another continent, whether it's just simply from another city or another province. So again, everyone, this is a timely reminder. I'm sure most of you, or if not all of you, may have encountered this like in the past. This is a timely reminder for all of us. The 3V rule: visual, vocal, and verbal. And here in our next slide, going back to our storytelling once again, okay, it says something of relevance. And here it says, your appearance should say what you want others to know about you. Again, your appearance should say what you want others to know about you. So that means if you want to project the image of being a professional individual, somebody who's highly reliable, somebody who's also knowledgeable in his or her craft, then by all means, our appearance should also say that. So therefore, wearing house clothes is never an option, right? It's never an option, because that would mean giving the appearance, giving the visual representation of drab, which is not a professional one. So it's also very important to what we call learn to be able to put it together, right? Because appearance, it's not just wearing something like, it is not just simply clothes. It's not just simply fabrics. It's how we package the whole thing, hence putting it together. So from your hair to your face, your skin, did you even bother to actually like accessorize, like for the ladies, for instance? So remember, we are literally seen on screen on a rectangular box. So the mere fact that what is seen is literally from our chest up. So it's very important that we also take time to be well presented. Because do you know what a well-groomed appearance would say? This actually gives the message that, in one word, it actually tells others that we respect them. Because when we have taken the time to literally fix ourselves, to look presentable, we are respecting whoever is actually in front of us on the other line, right? Or on screen. So whether you're talking to one individual, 100 individual, 1,000 individuals, again, appearance matters. So in this case, it's your online appearance. So looking at the next slide, let me click all of this. So as you see it on your screen in a while, what's going to happen is it will all show up all together. Because believe it or not, okay, this is like a comic page. And it says, okay, now I have it complete in my screen. It's still loading up in yours. So what do we see on this particular screen? Okay, so what do we see on this particular screen? Questions, okay? And here we can see something that says comment on these photos, okay? So allow me to read it in our local dialect. Okay, so looking at the first one, kasalanan mo kasi. Okay? And then the one on the bottom center, ginagawa mo ba ito? Upper, nakakasakit. And the ever compelling question, bakit? When we ask all of these things and say, it's your fault, okay? We are now on the B, or the behavior component of image, which actually talks about behavior. So imagine when we put the blame on others, it will not help move any transaction forward. When we are not cautious with how we are acting out, okay, in front of our clients, our customers, colleagues, okay, and other people by extension or by default. In other words, if we want to be able to push forward and build a positive like image, because remember, it's an enhanced image is the key to successful real estate marketing. So we should refrain rather from putting the blame on others. So instead of putting the blame on others, okay, what can we do instead? Instead of saying, kasalanan mo kasi, we can always apologize and say, I'm sorry, I stand corrected, okay? So allow me to get back. Allow me to get back at you on that. Because when we do not know something, we don't make second guesses. We don't end up saying an answer just for the sake of getting over with it, lest give the wrong information. It's okay to actually say, let me get back on you at that. And when we do say that, make sure we actually keep our word. Again, this brings us back to the key word, which is commitment. Ginagawa mo ba ito? Can you imagine? Look at these two light bulbs. One of them is a sad light bulb and the other one is a perky, happy light bulb. Don't you want to actually exude joy and a cheerful attitude? Because when you do, it rubs on to others, right? It rubs on easily to others. In other words, in Filipino, damay-damay lang yan, nakakahawa, right? So positive attitude rubs on to others. And when there are times that we may have offended another person, whether intentionally or unintentionally, again, we should humble ourselves and do what we can to rectify the situation. And as always, when we are not sure of something, we can always ask questions, okay? You can always ask the how, the what, the why, and so on. So again, everyone, so in terms of storytelling mode, in one word, okay, on this particular page, what can we learn here? Or not just one word. In this case, it's actually more like a phrase or a sentence. Your best behavior awaits. Again, your best behavior awaits. Which is exemplified by this next slide. Your attitude is like a price tag. It shows how valuable you are. Let me say it in Filipino, ah. Ang ating pag-uugali, parang presyo. Pinapakita nito kung gaano tayo kahalaga. So ang tanong, okay, tayo ba ay libre? Tayo ba ay mura? Mahal o walang katumbas? In other words, everyone, your attitude, okay, your attitude is like a price tag. It shows people, okay, how valuable you are. So let's all make it a goal because nothing is for free. So we are not in this industry just for show. We are hardworking professionals here to actually make a decent, professional, and worthy living because there are people who actually matter to us and in our lives. So let's commit to actually make a difference. And the goal is to literally be priceless. Walang katumbas, to be priceless. This year, 2021, we are now in the month of May, and how time flies, right? So, this 2021, as what this particular slide says, it's all about, in 2 words, soft skills. And how are we going to define soft skills, everyone? As defined by Oxford. Soft skills are personal attributes that enable someone to interact effectively and harmoniously with other people. Look at the iceberg, everyone. Look at the iceberg, okay? What you see on top, like the hard skills, what we already know, what you know, okay? What we know education-wise, whether you're an architect, you're an engineer, a teacher, you're an accountant, you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, we all know that because that is being defined by our designation, by our title. But can you imagine for a moment, soft skills, okay? Soft skills. By the way, in a while, we will translate that in Filipino, and I'm going to give you the top 3 soft skills. Imagine soft skills, okay? From underneath that iceberg, there's a whole chunk, okay? There's a whole chunk of ice that is not seen by the eyes. But we know it's there. And once it goes up to the surface, it actually creates a great effect. And everyone on this next slide, okay, let me click all of it at the same time so that once you see it, and I'm now looking at the second screen, once we look at it like this, okay, this way, this is what we will be able to see. Do you know that there are soft skills that matter to our clients? Soft skills such as what we mentioned from our storytelling earlier, teamwork, when you collaborate with one another. Oh, by the way, written communication is very important. The communication part of image says that it's not just digital communication, it's also how we literally write. Because many times, a lot of times nowadays, people might think we've lost the art, okay, of handwriting, but nothing beats, okay, original handwritten words, especially if it's something that has to do with having to share our heart of gratitude, right? So written communication. Apart from that, what else? Active listening. Are we really hearing our clients? What about verbal and presentation skills? Because if all we have is 20 minutes, 15 minutes of time, okay, of virtual time, with our clients, then by all means, we should be on point. We should get to the point, right? And be able to say the piece and make certain that it's a very clear, cut message that our clients would understand. What about in terms of building rapport and empathy, okay? Are we here for our clients? Can they feel our presence? And a whole gamut. Likewise, when it comes to nonverbal communication, body language, are we looking at our clients or are we literally like online, yet the eyes are on another screen or monitor on our phone or on a piece of paper? We should look at our clients. And how do we do that? We look at the camera lens, everyone. Because if this is all that matters, this rectangular box, then by all means, people need to know that we are here for them. And believe it or not, on this next page, allow me to read it in advance. It says here, do you know that there are relevant sales skills that are related to the following areas? Who wouldn't want to close deals? We all want that, right? Don't you think? If we can close deals every day of our lives, that would be tremendous. That would be so wonderful. What about moving deals forward from prospecting to now, like a meeting up, literally, because we can see interest in the eyes of our client. What about positivity, right? Yes, we want a yes client, right, as much as possible. understanding the client's business. Are we really there? And going through the same flow with our client, right? Are we able to match our company's products or services to that of the clients? So again, the source of this is value selling associates. So again, that's just a percentage to give us an idea as to what is really very relevant to our clients. I'm looking at my next screen right now, next slide right now, and this is a common question that I would like to ask all of us. How has the COVID-19 global pandemic changed the way we interact with one another? Let me pause for a moment, and perhaps you are thinking, if there is one word that I can use to describe how the how the global pandemic has changed our lives, it literally has changed it forever, right? From the way we actually deal with family members, now we see them 24/7. So whether that's good or bad, so too much of something, right? Or rather, now everything is done right within the comforts of our home, like from cooking meals to cleaning to literally being online, being ready to answering emails, phone calls, like sending quotations, proposals, and what have you. So literally, many times, as what we have been hearing from our other clients, and personally, I feel this too. If there is one thing that has changed because of the global pandemic, a lot of times nowadays people think that we are available 24/7, when in reality we should not be available 24/7. Why is that? Because we also need to stay safe, we need to stay healthy, we need to be alive, right? So that means it's very important to also do self-care. So everyone, if there's if there is something that we all can learn here, let's not neglect, okay, self-care. Because remember, when we are healthy, we end up being happy, and when we are happy, we end up being productive, right? So that's the whole cycle. And as what I promised earlier, there are so many soft skills, okay, that our buyers, that our clients, that our many customers across the board, okay, value. But for the time element that we have today, allow me to sum it up to top three. So what are the top three soft skills that our buyers value? Okay, top three, as what you can see here on screen. Okay, so this is our top three. So allow us to actually digest through this. This is our top three. By the way, everyone, we've been talking about soft skills. Do you know that in Filipino, soft skills is what we call malambot na kasanayan? Okay, so again, soft skills, malambot na kasanayan. Ito po yung top 3, okay? Ito po yung pumapangatlo. Pamamahala ng oras, or what we call time management. How important is time management? We all have 24 hours in our hands. Do you know somebody who's got 28 or 30 hours or more? We don't. Because the reality is we all have 24 hours in our hands. But how come some people can be a lot more productive, okay, with the time that they have, to think that they budget it with, let's say, family, right, from spouse to child or children, to managing the household, to having to do errands, groceries, what have you, on top of fulfilling the work that they need to do. Time management is key. We only have two hands, but these hands, okay, can be very productive by God's grace if we know how to manage our time. Top two, okay, soft skills that our buyers value. Okay? Pangalawang malambot na kasanayan na ating pinahahalagahan, okay? Lalo pa mat sa mata ng ating mga kliyente. So this is the top two soft skills that our buyers value, okay? And that is what we call, in terms of soft skills, this is what we call, as we are waiting for it to flash up. Okay, there you go. This has to do with what we call flexibility. Okay, tayo ba ay may kakayahang umangkop? Okay, how flexible are we? Meaning, like, are we now experts, okay, in what we call multitasking, okay? And by that I mean, are you like drinking your coffee, like having like a few bites of fruit and eating your morning breakfast at the same time, logging in, checking your inbox because for some reason like so many popped up, okay, while you were sleeping at night, and in between that, okay, your eyes go to another screen, know that, oh, I have an upcoming Zoom, okay, meeting like in 30 minutes or so. Before you do any of this, everyone, may I suggest, like what we said earlier, self-care. So begin with eating a healthy meal. Make sure that you are dressed for the day. So not in your pajamas, not half dressed, okay, from the top only, and like wearing shorts, okay, and it helps to literally embody the part, because when we do that, we feel more motivated. Okay, so if we mention time management as top three, okay, soft skills, okay, that our buyers value. Top two being flexibility. What is now the top one, okay, o nangungunang malambot na kasanayan that our buyers value? This is what we call, so we had our top three, we had our top two. Right now, this is our top one, soft skills, okay, that our buyers value. And this is what we call paganyak sa sarili. In other words, how self-motivated are you? Self-motivation. Do we need or do we expect others or another person to literally push the buttons for us to actually do something? Because the rule of thumb here is that should not be the case, because whatever we can do on our end, from our end, we should do our part. It's not could, it's not should, it's not would, but rather I did. Right? Self-motivation, paganyak sa sarili. So again, top three, just to review, we have time management, top two is flexibility, and top one is self-motivation. There's so much more, okay, as you read on and as you get to know more of soft skills. At this point in time, by the way, let me stop sharing a bit. Miss Abby, are you there on our line? May I actually request for our short video to be played, ma'am?
Dismissed from drama school with a note that read, "Wasting her time. She's too shy to put her best foot forward." Turned down by the Decca recording company, who said, "We don't like their sound and guitar music is on the way out." A failed soldier, farmer, and real estate agent. At 38 years old, he went to work for his father as a handyman. Cut from the high school basketball team, he went home, locked himself in his room, and cried. A teacher told him he was too stupid to learn anything, and he should go into a field where he might succeed by virtue of his pleasant personality. Fired from a newspaper because he lacked imagination and had no original ideas. His fiancée died, he failed in business twice, he had a nervous breakdown, and he was defeated in 8 elections. If you've never failed, you've never lived.
Thank you so much for that, Miss Abby. Everyone, I hope we actually learned a thing or two from that short motivational video. Can you imagine for a moment if all of these personalities, okay, if all of them literally came from nothing, became big names, okay, the world over. So it only goes to show that having that never giving up attitude, that actually will make a whole lot of difference. By the way, at this point, if I may comment, I'm actually looking at our screen and I can see some comments. Allow me later on to actually be able to address them. So thank you once again for those of you who've literally like written down and shared your comments online. Right now, allow me to pull my screen, just a few more slides, okay, before we go to the Q&A. Thank you. So let me share my screen once again. Okay, so there. as I'm looking at my first monitor here, okay, we now have a compelling question, okay? Compelling question to all of us. And it's in Filipino that for sure all of us will be able to relate with. Okay, alin ka magiging? Which one are you going to be? From restless, hindi mapakali, or are you going to be a resilient person, hindi mapakali o matatag? Alin ang ating pipiliin, right? Alin ka magiging? So meaning if there's only options here, and there are only two options here on this page rather, are you going to be restless or are you going to be resilient? And personally, I take pride being a Filipino. I may look I may be yellow skin tone. Yes, like I may have Chinese blood, but at heart and in my mind, I'm a true blue Filipino, right? So, and we all know, okay, ang pagiging Filipino, nating lahat, okay, if there's one thing that we all can learn from and that we can all take inspiration from, it's that word, and that word is actually resiliency, right? We are all resilient people because really, name it, right? Name it from typhoons like volcanic eruptions to pandemic to all of this, right? But still we are all here by God's grace. So that having that hope, at the back of our mind and in our hearts, and having that faith in God, that makes us resilient as a nation. And in building a genuine relationship, everyone, okay, in your next slide, okay, this is what you're going to see. As hands outstretched, okay, reaching out, okay, how do we actually build a genuine relationship, everyone? And it says here, with a smile, always be of service. Think about what you can give, not get. Engage without expectation. Because when we actually do this, chances are the blessings come by. And many times it comes back to us so many folds, okay? More than we've ever imagined. And I have 3 simple tips, okay? Again, selling, being real estate professionals, everyone, it's not all about forma. It's not all about appearance, right? Because appearance may be the first step, because that actually enables us to connect to our audience, right? Your visual representation. But we all know, hindi pwede na puro appearance lamang, right? Because if there's no substance, if there's no meat, the question is, how long are you going to be able to hold your client? If there's no substance, okay, people will actually end up saying bye-bye. I'll go to the next one. Because we are not the only real estate professional in our field. There's so many of us. There's thousands of us, okay? Look at the screen right now, everyone. The first S, speak from the diaphragm, everyone. So there, okay, the bony part of your rib cage, everyone. If you're going to actually put both your hands on your rib cage as you inhale, feel the rib cage expand and literally go sideways. By the way, everyone, this is a sample of what we call synchronous learning. Synchronous learning is something that's done live, just like what we're doing. There may be a log, depending on the speed of the internet, okay, excuse me, but pretty much this is something that's done live. There's no script, and we are doing this point on. So speak from the diaphragm, inhale, feel the rib cage expand. As you exhale, blow the air out, okay, feel it contract. What is the second S? Everyone, very important. Again, these are 3 S's on this particular slide to keep it simple. The second S, it says, okay, this is something that you need to do during a conversation. And that is literally to smile, because who wants to look at a frowning face, right, or expression? We need to put more joy into this world and be a positive light to our clients and people around us, whether colleagues, okay, whether family members, okay, whether people that we've just met online right now, but who can be potential clients, and who knows what other business opportunities you may end up doing in the future. And the third one, if first is speak, second is smile, third, straighten your body, everyone. So lift yourselves up, okay? So straighten up, okay? Don't slouch, don't sink. Rather, straighten up, because this actually makes a whole lot of difference. You have the screen. You don't want to be so tiny that you are fading away, away, away. You don't want that, right? So again, speak, smile, and straighten your body. Okay, this is a page that by now, okay, it's May 2021, that by now we've all memorized this by heart. Why do I say this? Because we have been doing this from last year, and who knows, in our new reality right now and even beyond, for sure there's a huge percentage of us who will be doing work from home. All of these mean one and the same thing, whether you're telecommuting, telework, working remotely, e-commuting, flexible workspace, work from home is here to stay. So this is a tip, okay, and this is a page. The next one, okay, is a tip and a page, and it says here, okay, what can we wear when we need to be online? Because maybe some of us are thinking, I am not by nature brand conscious, or I am not the type who's very picky on what I need to wear. But regardless, appearance and trying to come up with a positive visual image is not all about brands. It's literally how the person is using what he or she has and how you can bring it forward, okay? What to wear? No solid black or white. So ideally something with colors, because why do we promote colors? Because colors add life, right? Avoid stripes or circular patterns because you don't want your audience to actually end up being dizzy or dazed. So you can always add a tie, okay, for the gentleman, okay, or a statement necklace like what I'm wearing, for example. Okay, it could be a brooch, okay, a brooch, a scarf, okay. Don't just dress from the waist up, as you may need to sometimes stand up as well. Be reminded to wear some makeup for the ladies, okay, for the women out there, and to all the mommies. It does not mean that just because we're mommies, we've lost our groove, right? So that means that we can always be reminded to wear some makeup, because some makeup can actually make a whole lot, a whole world of difference. From ordinary, you can be pleasing. And when the personality becomes pleasing, okay, everything else follows. So goes productivity. Fix your hair. And this goes to the men as well. Okay. And the next page, okay, here is something very, very important. Again, I took this liberty to actually share this slide and include this in our presentation today because it says here, as what you can read, whatever is closest to your camera lens will appear larger. Okay, so as I come closer to you, I appear larger. Okay, and so do you. So, in other words, do not vanish. Okay, make your presence felt. Again, this is a way to actually show respect. This is a way to show consideration to others. And this is a way to actually exhibit our professionalism, okay, in terms of what we do. In terms of this next factor, this is also something very crucial because again, you don't want to be a dark shadow in front of your clients, okay? You want to literally be seen. So in other words, if it's a home office, that is, you can always set up your work in front of a window where there's natural light. And this is behind the scenes, okay? This is behind the scenes. So if this is how I started last year and we were able to pivot to 100% virtual training and learning, if that was last year, this is actually today. It's an improvement, right? From times past to now. If before there's like various lamps right now, we can manage with a simpler light. That is, right? Simpler setup. Even with textured fabric curtains, we can always make it work. Sharing the next slide, everyone. As a Filipino, tinataas po natin ang bandila ng ating bansa, no? And this is a session, a concurrent session that I was privileged to share during our AICI Global Conference last 2019 in Chicago, USA. So happy to share in the international community. And to those of you who might be wondering, okay, what are we up to? What is Enhance Your Image Training Consultancy is all about? We pride ourselves with three things, okay? You can see on screen the first one, we do private coaching. These photos were taken pre-COVID, obviously. So second, okay, element that we pride ourselves with. The first one is private coaching. Next, we do what we call corporate training. So next is what we call corporate training. You could be a group of 20, 30, 50. So we will be more than happy to actually train you and your team, okay, and be able to do this literally. Like as a team, right? With a lot of hard work, commitment, and dedication. And thirdly, something very important that all of us are very familiar with right now is the platform of virtual training, or what we call online learning. And again, because of online learning, because we all had to do this 100%, not 30, not 50, not 80, but 100%. So from 2020 to present, we were able to pivot even our private coaching to what we call 100% online. So 2 hours per session, yes, believe it or not, our clients, males and females, they last for 2 hours, 120 minutes. Second is we actually do our corporate training online as well. If pre-COVID times we're able to do this like in one day, 7, 8 hours, nowadays it's two separate half days. Programs are customized according to clients' requirement. And online training does not end there. From 2020 to present, the third income stream that we have been doing is what we call our public run programs. This is under various organizers. Each webinar, is about an hour to a maximum of 3-4 hours long. Again, like depending on what the organizers like prefer. And it does not end there, because there's actually five to this. The fourth one being as an image consultant, one as a result of many years of collaboration and commitment and the clear track record, we can also be an exclusive soft skills trainer under another company, handling various markets covering kids, teens, and adults. And lastly, which covers the whole circle of our online learning 100%. This is actually something that all of us real estate professionals might want to consider big time. And why do I say consider this big time? We have been licensed in our fields all these years. We have been doing compliance like year in, year out, every 3 years. If you're a licensed broker, we with CPD credits that's needed and so much more. What more as real estate professionals? Who does not want to be globally certified, right? This is a training that is done virtually right where you are, but yet the kind of certification that you earn is not given by any Philippine company, rather given a by what we call the global standard on soft skills for improving professional image, or what we call the international soft skills standards and testing. This is, in simple words, in one phrase, the ISO certification for people, which is the most valuable resource for any company. It's you and I, it's human resources. And for the past like few months, we were able to finish. We just recently concluded a webinar series for a group of artists. And yes, you heard me right. It's for a group of musicians, songwriters, a band. It's a group of artists. And upcoming this month, we also have another one which is under a public run, which has been entitled as what you will be seeing on your screen, Total Customer Delight. So for those of you who have 3 hours to spare, and it's a very little investment, to consider, the gains you will be getting from these 3 hours will actually be priceless. So feel free to join us. That's the 26th of May. Save the date. So with that being said, I want to end by sharing with us a particular verse in the Bible that my heart has been resonating with. It's from the book of Isaiah 41 verse 10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. For those of you who want to hear it in Filipino, Isaiah 41, talata 10, it says here, huwag kang matakot sapagkat ako'y sumasa iyo. Huwag kang manglupaypay sapagkat ako'y iyong Diyos. Aking palalakasin ka, oo. Aking tutulungan ka, oo. Aking alalayan ka ng kanang kamay ng aking katuwiran. So with that being said, everyone, once again, this has been Carolina Tan, AICICIP, a licensed real estate broker. I love real estate as much as you all do, and also an AICI certified image professional, saying maraming salamat po. Happy Mother's Day. Let me turn you over to Doc EG.
Okay, well said, well said. Ang galing, ang galing. All right.
Thank you very much, sir.
Ang galing. Sinasabi mo, speak, Smile, straighten up, di ba? Ayan,
Yes,
ganda yan.
thank you.
At ganda yan. And one quote I remember is that you have never lived if you have not failed.
Yes,
Okay.
because we all have, right? I mean, somehow, whether past or present, and there's no guarantee that we will not fail again from the present to the future. But one thing important is it's a learning process. Once we learn, all we can do is like simply like a pick up, okay, after ourselves, stand up and get going. The momentum
Okay.
should not
So
be lost.
actually, ang daming nakikinig sa atin, daming na-view sa atin, no? Like for
Thank
example,
you.
hello to Vivian Castro, the president of REBAP, REBAP, Real Estate Brokers Association. It's a big group. Then Russell Ojeda, Edmond Katubig, also from Dumaguete City, Asok Betel, Ivan de la Luna. We have from Pampanga, our Catherine Kate Dalaga Garcia from Pampanga. We have from Calamba, Laguna, Carol De Sacramento, and Patrick Chun. Also, Arlande Dundee and Dr. Josephine Enobal, no, of Amen. All right. So maraming tanong dito at may time pa ba tayo? Ang ganda-ganda ng presentation mo. Wala ka masyado tanong, pero may mga pumatok din. Ang
Yes,
sabi
sir.
niya, what is your tip? What about those people with not so pleasing personality? How can you renovate them? From Eleonor Jeronimo.
Yes, very relevant question. But by the way, before I even answer that, pakakatandaan po nating lahat na in terms of imahe, in terms of image, there's always two elements to this. We have what we call the internal or the inner image of the person, what you are made of, the heart and soul, which no one can ever take. It's something that you possess very uniquely, that's yours, and it's a God-given thing, right? And since we are all created in the image of likeness and God, I really do believe that all of us have a beauty inside and out. Now, when it comes to external matters and how we can basically like overhaul or how we can enhance, okay, whatever is at hand already. That's why there are trainers, okay? That's why there are learning like platforms and modules because we are here for you and there are no shortcuts in life. Pretty much that we all, di ba, lahat po tayo nag-aral mula elementarya, high school, kolehiyo, nagtapos wala akong shortcut doon. So just like ang training sa malambot na kasanayan or soft skills, it's the same thing. So the more we train, the more positive habits we build. And the more positive habits we build, it basically comes out exhibiting like positively and beautifully.
Okay, ang sabi dito, in this era of pandemic, sabi niya, how can you express yourselves or beautify yourself when you are wearing mask, face mask and face shield? Can you recommend?
Yes. You know, like that is a real plight that all of us have been experiencing, right? So, kung tayo na nasa online format, we are not wearing like our face mask and face shields right now because we happen to be the only ones in our rooms, in our respective like home offices. But the moment that we're out, there's still a way to actually look your best. There's still a way, many ways to actually be your presentable and professional self, even if you are donning face mask and face shields. And what is that? If you happen to be a female, pakakatandaan, kahit naman naka-face shield, eto lang yan eh. Litaw pa rin ang mata, right? So the eyes are windows to the soul. So with that being said, you can always make it expressive. So a little makeup, okay, whether it be like some mascara, like grooming your eyebrows, making certain that people can really see you. Being expressive, you can always make your eyes smile, right? As you
Oh.
smile, okay, so goes the eyes. At sa pananamit, pwede po yan.
Okay, sabi dito, you are lucky, ma'am, because you're endowed with beauty and brain. However, for us, even short, I'm only 4'10". How can I succeed in life?
Thank you, thank you. Alam nyo, if there's one thing that the global COVID-19 global pandemic has taught all of us, lahat tayo pantay-pantay at pare-pareho. Regardless kung anong height natin, 4 feet, 5 feet, 6 feet, hindi kita yan visually because anong kita sa atin? Eto lang. So literally, remember earlier when we said smile, like speak up and literally like straighten up, one can really come up and end up like evolving and being comfortable with your own self and exuding that positive persona and coming out really alive and more lifelike, di ba? Like if it's online, as long as you know how to use the power of the internet and the resources that we have to actually make use of it to your advantage. So para-paraan
Okay.
lang, kaya po yan.
Okay, tanong dito, Carol, no? You are also in real estate marketing. What do you think is shaping the market now? Malakas pa ba ang benta mo? Like that.
Wow, like personal opinion po to So I feel like I'm being grilled at the moment with the real estate question, but it's okay. Okay, what do I see in terms of like what's ahead? Well, personally, as a licensed real estate broker and representing, just like what you said, Doc EG earlier, I'm blessed to be with Mega World Brokers Network under Mega World Corporation. This is one of the companies under Alliance Global Incorporated. We are actually looking positively forward, if that's one thing that I can say. Why do I say so? Right now we literally have properties that are ready for occupancy. We continue to build our projects that are currently being pre-sold, and with Mega World Corporation's more than 30 years of track record, we are um, we are definitely sure that turnover dates will come to be. And in terms of what's ahead, in terms of landscape, example, I can only speak for the current like projects that that we are handling, and we are covering the high-end townships of McKinley Hill, McKinley West, Uptown Bonifacio, and Mactan Newtown, Cebu. These are all like high-end townships with a very promising future, because we all know how infrastructure is doing right now. And as soon as everything is in place, like the MRT system, the subway, even like seats of government, like Supreme Court, like the Court of Appeals, I'm sorry, Supreme Court, the Senate of the Philippines, okay, will be here, part of our townships. Everything, the day will come, it will be interconnected. So the mere fact that we are placed right now where we are places us at a positive advantage. So this is something that we can share to our clients. We need to actually hang on, because the day will come that all of this too shall pass, and it will be a very bright and beautiful, like future for real estate. Pretty much that we've experienced many crises before. We were all able to overcome and bounce back.
Alright, ako, alam mo, hindi natin nararamdaman, napakahaba magto 2 hours na tayo, and I'm so glad at lahat sila napansin ko nakikinig
Thank
sa
you.
iyo eh. So
Maraming
what
salamat, sir.
probably we can do, can you give us a parting message or a parting shot
Yes.
before you leave?
Yes, for sure. So once again, everyone, to all the amazing like nanays out there, happy Mother's Day. At sa lahat po ng mga nanonood at nakikinig ngayong araw, maraming salamat po. Thank you very much for sharing your precious time with us. And if there is one thing that I can leave with all of us, okay, let me use Enhance Your Image Training Consultancy's mission and vision. And that simply is always remember to stand out and shine. You are created by God. We are all created by God with a purpose. So let's make use of that purpose to be a blessing to others. Thank you very much. Good morning.
Thank you, Carol. I'm sure maraming natutuhan ng ating viewers dito ngayon. But you can stay in the back room para matapos mo yung program. No? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.